What is up, everybody? We are here to do another tier list. I know you guys missed it. It's been a while. Why not do it? But this is a little different than the other NBA one. The other one was favorite teams. This one is whether I think you're a contender. I have five tier lists. Contender, pretty good. Mid, I was here in the middle, rebuilding, and sucks. And yeah, so this is not like anything personal. I'm gonna really go by team. I'm gonna go break it by roster and think, what do I have? What do they have that's good? What's not good? What's terrible? I can't believe we start off with the 76ers. I wish we could start off with another team because, yeah, they're in the sucks category. I can't believe it. I thought this team this year was going to be a playoff team. I thought the addition of Paul George was going to be helpful, but they suck. They suck. Honestly, they are terrible, you know? Um, yeah, Paul George doesn't help. Joel Embiid out for the season, always hurt. Great center when he plays, but he never plays. So best ability is availability, and he's not available. Nobody else on this team. I mean, Tyrese Maxey's good and stuff like that. And you can't say they were building because they've had these players. I just don't think they're good, and they won't be good for a while. I think unless the only way they're good is if Embiid can stay healthy and they get rid of Paul George. Paul George shows his podcast over that team, and I think that I know he's only been there for 1 year, but they may have to move on. He's terrible. I wanted him for the Magic like earlier in the year. So happy the Magic didn't get him. All right, we're gonna go on to the next team. Sorry I babbled about the 76ers, but it's just they suck, and I'm really surprised. All right, Golden State Warriors. This changed because I had them in the mid category, but I gotta respect them. They are pretty good. I think that Steph Curry is playing amazing. Jimmy Butler fits the team. They have all these players like that. They're just like meshing well. Curry's going off. They just beat the Knicks. They beat a lot of good teams. They beat us. They swept the Magic twice. Golden State is pretty good. I hate to admit it. I don't like him. You saw my other tier list. I put him in the annoying category. I don't hate them, but yeah, like they are pretty good. They have a good roster. Um, I just don't think they're a contender. I think they'll be in the playoffs, but I don't. I think they'll lose early on, maybe in the first or second round. It depends who they play in the first round. If they play the Nuggets, bye bye. I don't think you're beating them. I'm sorry, but let's see one thing quickly. Where are where is Golden State ranked right now in terms of standings? Because that also could be a big difference. They are sixth, and they won. This is the thing I got to give them why they're pretty good and not mid anymore. Also, they won seven in a row, just like another team, which we'll get to soon. Let's talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, this team I thought in the beginning of the year was just going to be pretty good. Max, you won this. You're 100% correct. This team is a contender. I think they have a chance to win it all this year. They haven't lost many games, and I know it's the regular season, but they look really good, and the East is really weak. There's only one team in the East, and I will get to that team that I think could give the Cavaliers a hard time. But to say that they're not a contender, you would have to get your head examined. I got my head examined. Yeah, I was messed up. I was wrong about it. I didn't think they were. Mitchell is great. Garland is good. They got Ty Jerome, Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen. They're deep. They're just so deep. Sam Merrill, who's a good shooter when you need some shooting. Um, Deep team. I don't like the Cavs because I find them annoying, but I don't hate them. I respect them. Their coach, Kenny Atkinson, is really good. JB Bickerstaff is good because he turned around the Pistons, and we'll get to the Pistons. But, you know, um, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, Cleveland is really good. Like, amazing. The best record in basketball, and, it's like when the Magic play and we just get blown out. Like, we don't even stand a chance. And I'll be streaming that game today too. So at 1 p.m. on ABC, at a random time. But they're gonna kick our ass. I'm getting ready for it. Like, when we lose, I'm not gonna be upset. If we win, of course I'd go crazy. But they only lost 10 games all year. That's 56-10. Maybe I should go up and tell you the records of these teams too, because that does make a difference sometimes. That's not the whole thing with the tier list, because Golden State is only 6th seed, but they're pretty good how they're playing right now. That's where they are, in my opinion. Okay, and Cleveland, is a contender. Like I said, sorry, Max. They're really good, really good team. I think they have a chance of winning the finals. Um, there's only one team in the East I see dethrone them, and who knows? They could probably beat that team too. We'll get to them. Minnesota Timberwolves. I hate to say this, but the way they're playing right now, I don't think they're a contender, but I think they're pretty good. Now, you may think, oh, but they're mid. No. Okay. For some reason, they have figured it out now. Julius Randle's playing better. Anthony Edwards is amazing. Anthony Edwards is a superstar. They own the Nuggets. They beat good teams consistently. They swept the Magic. Damn it. We had a freaking 10-point lead. No, 11-point lead in the fourth quarter and blew it. But really good team. I don't think they're a contender, but they're pretty good, you know? So, yeah, I like their roster, but it still needs help. Okay, so and their record is 39-29. It just tells you how deep the West is. They're 10 games above 500, and they're not in the playoffs. They're in the play-in, but between them and Golden State. So that's a really interesting race to see, like Golden State versus Timberwolves, to see who gets that spot. But yeah, I don't really care about it as much because I'm more of an Eastern Standards guy, standings guy. I mean, like I care about the East more, but I've been paying attention to the West a lot. It's way better in every way. We all know it. It's Captain Obvious. I'm just saying it because it's true. Okay, we're gonna go to Indiana Pacers. Like I said, I really want to go in depth in some of these teams. Indiana Pacers are a fifth seed, 37-29, but I think they're mid. I do not see this team, even if they make the playoffs, go that far. I don't think they're that much better than the Magic. Now I know they got more wins and all that. It doesn't mean anything to me. It means to me how you perform. Okay, Tyrese Halliburton is good, but he's not crazy amazing. Siakam is good. They need another player, like another star, like another superstar. Miles Turner is all right, but these guys are not serious, you know. Um, so I don't think the Pacers are that good. I think they're mid, and 37-29 is not impressive to me in the East. The Magic could have been this if they did not have injuries. I know injuries, people will say excuse, but yeah, and I know I'm rambling a lot. It's because I'm doing this on the go, and like some of these teams, like this is what I feel. Pacers are mid. All right, Knicks, New York Knicks. I'm gonna go to pretty good. Okay. But they have been playing kind of mid lately because but they are pretty good. I can't lie. They're close to being a contender. They got Carl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson's a beast. Mavericks, people always talk about Luca, but nobody ever talks about Jalen Brunson. They also got rid of him. The Mavericks have made some really bad decisions. They should have kept Brunson, should have had Luca, kept Luca, obviously. And we'll get to the Mavericks where they are on this list. Because you see, this is the thing. It changes so much. The NBA changes so much, especially after trade deadlines and stuff. Before the trade deadline, I'd have the Mavs somewhere else than I would today. We'll get to that. Slow down, all right? Well, you ain't there yet, all right? But yeah. So on to the Knicks are 42-24, really good record. Third in the East. Like I said, the East not that good, but I like their roster. Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby. They need more depth a little bit, but they have Karl Anthony Towns really good. I don't know why Timberwolves got rid of him. I think if the Timberwolves had Karl Anthony Towns, maybe we could put them in the contender. I mean, last year they were so close to going to the finals. But yeah, let's talk about the Los Angeles Clippers. Okay, this is gonna sound like I hate them or something, but I honestly think they're mid. James Harden, whatever. I don't think they're that good. I don't like many of their players, like Zubac's okay and all this, but I'm not a fan. And like they're okay, they're not bad, so that's why they're in the mid category. And their record is 37-30, which is pretty good in the West, but it's just not. They don't shock me in anything. They don't do any. They don't move the ball around that great. It's just I don't know. They're not good. They're just not good. Let's be honest about that. You know. Um, Moving on. Okay, let's go to the Phoenix Suns. Whispers team. This is no hatred. You guys, I will not say you suck, but I will actually kind of do suck. But I'm gonna put you in the rebuilding category. And the reason why I'm gonna put you here is Kevin Durant and Booker might be traded. Well, Kevin Durant for sure is going to be traded. I don't know about Devin Booker. I can't believe that this team is talking about trading the face of their franchise, Devin Booker. That is crazy. Durant, whatever. He's older. He's left teams many times. But if they get rid of Booker, that is rebuild. I can't put you in sucks if you get rid of your star. Actually, you know what? For the Suns, if they do get rid of Booker, although it sounds crazy, I would respect it because Booker is not going anywhere by himself. Durant is leaving, and Booker's a superstar, man. The guy deserves to be on a way better team, like the Magic. No, I'm just kidding. But the Magic are a better team than the Suns. Like, we swept them, and come on. Like, what is their record? 31, 36. They have a better record than us, but, we own them. We own the Suns, and what do you call it? No, but they are rebuilding. That is where they belong. They're getting rid of stars and stuff like that. That tells you something. That gives you a sign. But I respect it because they were not going anywhere with these guys anyway. God, I can't speak anyway. So that's why I put them in the rebuilding category. On to the next team, Boston Celtics. This is the only team that I see challenging the Cavs on the East. I think the Celtics are a good team. Really good team. I hate to admit it, but because I find them in the annoying category. But they have they have Tatum, they have Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis when he's healthy, he's a beast. They're just so deep, Drew Holiday. I don't know why the frick the Bucks got rid of Holiday. We'll get to the Bucks because I'm so disappointed in them this year. I had higher hopes for them, but Celtics are contender. They won the finals last year. How could you not put them in contender? They're 49-19. They're the second best team in the East. And I know the East is garbage, but that record is good. And they're better than, it's the only team that I can see beating the Cavs on the East. And I don't even know if they'll do that because the Cavs have been that amazing. Okay. Next team on the contender list, Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, this team is so amazing. SGA, Chet Holmgren, they have a lot of players, that can play, man. It's just so good. OKC, they just beat the Celtics too. As I was just talking about the Celtics, let me just look at something. Yeah, they have Dort, who's okay. SGA, Hartenstein's good bench player. Wallace is starting to get into his own. They're a young team, but I think they're a contender. I think they could do it this year. I'm not saying that they will, but they are a contender. And if you don't think so, you just don't know NBA. 55-12. I don't care how young you are. I respect this team so much. They are a contender, and I really honestly hope that they win the finals over the other two teams that I have. Don't want the Cavs. I don't want Celtics. But if it was Oklahoma City, I'd be okay with it. Karam would have a party, and it'll all be good. Yeah. So this team is going to be interesting. Toronto Raptors. You could put them in the sucks category. I ain't going to put them there. I'm going to put them in the rebuilding category. I like what they have done. Okay. I like that they traded for Brandon Ingram. I think they still need to do more. I think they need a point guard. I don't think Quickly is the answer. RJ Barrett is good. Pirtle is a good center. But he's the only problem with him is he doesn't shoot threes in today's NBA like every center does. But I like Pirtle because he grabs rebounds, and not every center needs to shoot threes. I think he'd still be fine, even though every center nowadays does. They're in the rebuilding category. Oh yeah, I want to say one thing about Oklahoma City. Also, they're 55-12. So besides the Cavs, they have the second best record and they're really good. Let's get back to the Raptors. Okay, my boy Bondi likes them. And I'm not just putting in there because of that. They're 24-43. They're only 4 games out of the play-in because between them and Chicago Bulls, that's how bad the East is. Okay, Scotty Barnes, I like. I think he's a great player. Grady Dick's all right, like he's average. But Brandon Ingram, if he can stay healthy, he can bring something to this team. We've seen that happen before when they had Kawhi. I'm not saying he's on the level of Kawhi, but when Brandon Ingram is healthy, he's one of the best players. Problem with him, always hurt. What's the best ability? Availability. All right, Let's get on to my boy Colby's team. Where are they going to go? See, a lot of people think pretty good. I am actually going to put them in contender. I know they lost to Washington Wizards twice, but I still think they could do it because of one reason. They have playoff experience. They have if Jamal Murray gets hot, and we already know what Jokic is going to do. They just need Jamal Murray to get hot and Michael Porter to play good. And Braun has been playing better too. So they need that whole team to get, stick like that. They played down to the Wizards. It was a bad game, Colby. Calm down. All right. Get off the ledge. All right. Don't threaten to kill yourself over that game because people lose to bad teams. It happens. Does that take you out of the contender? It almost did for me, actually. I thought about it, but then I was like, no. You're in the West. You're a good team. You still have a good record. You're still making the playoffs. And, you may have to play like Golden State, and I think you would beat them. Right now, it's you versus Golden State. Remember, this is of March 16th. Anything can change. And these standings are before the games have been played. So if you guys are like, each one game off. No, it's before the games have been played. All right, Detroit Pistons. This team really shocks me, because they went from like one of the worst teams to like a sixth team. And this is gonna seem weird to put them over the Pacers. I'm gonna say pretty good. This team won so many games in a row. JB Bickerstaff has done an amazing job. I like them more than the Pacers, and I think they actually at the end of the season could pass the Pacers for that 5th seed. Now, I don't think they're a contender yet, but Cade Cunningham, I don't know. JB just somehow got the best out of this team. They even played close against OKC. Like, they are a decent team. Duran, Tobias Harris is Tobias Harris, former Magic. Shout out to him. Cade Cunningham, Beasley, Schroeder. Schroeder been playing good. I don't know why people keep getting rid of Schroeder. I like him. I think he could shoot. I think he could play. And as a bench guy, he's fine. And I wish the Magic would get him, but no. All right, Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to get to this team right now. And this team really frustrates me because they're in the mid category, but they have the talent to be in the pretty good. The Kuzma stuff does not move me. I don't think Kuzma's that good. I don't know. He just isn't the same player he used to be. Too many injuries and stuff. Giannis is great, but he can't do it all by himself like he did he had Chris Middleton, but Chris Middleton is not even on the team anymore. He's on Washington. So, yeah, I am going to put them in the mid category. I know they have a better record than the Pistons, but the Pistons are playing better now. You can't just go strictly by record. If you do that, you don't know basketball, and you should just stop watching altogether. If you just go by record and that's it. Okay, they're 38 and 28, decent record, but I don't see this team going pretty far. Like, I'm not saying the Pistons will go further than them, but like, I mean, they went from shit to this. So you got to give them credit. And they just, like, Bucks have star talent like Giannis, and they're not a contender, and they're not in the pretty good in my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Okay, Mavericks are going into rebuild. No, kidding. Sucks category. Another team. Oh my God. This team would have been in pretty good or contender with Luka. I would put him in pretty good probably with Luka. But without Luka, or maybe even in contender because they were there last year in the finals. They are in the sucks category. Okay. I don't like their future. It's pretty bleak. Getting rid of Luka was stupid. Anthony Davis always gets hurt. He's made out of glass. We know this. And unfortunately, Kyrie Irving got hurt. And who knows what Kyrie's going to do next year. He might leave this team. So it might get even worse than what they are. And that's hard to believe. I know they have a decent record, but that was before, before the Luka trade. Right now, Mavericks are 33 and 35. They might let the Suns get in the play-in with how much they've been losing. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They're not a good team. Everybody knows it. They got rid of, what else? They got rid of Spencer Dinwiddie, and now he's killing it. So that's just crazy. I got rid of a player, and he was playing good somewhere else. And I saw the talent, and I thought he could be good. to Dinwiddie, but they gave up on him. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I don't know why the Mavs did this stuff, but yeah. Now Dinwiddie plays for freaking Washington, but he's playing good over there. It makes no sense. Okay, let's go to San Antonio Spurs. I'm gonna put they are kind of in the rebuilding, but they're in the sucks as well. They're in the sucks. They're in the sucks because of injuries, unfortunately. The Aaron Fox out for the season. Um, Victor Wembanyama out for the season. Um, they have a lot of good talent. They're a young team. You know what? No, they don't deserve to be in sucks. They deserve to be in rebuild because they will get better. And it's just going to take time. It's going to take a little bit more time from Victor. He's got to stay healthy. But if he keeps getting injured, I might put them back in sucks. Got injured again. Unfortunately, it sucks. I hate when young players like that who play so good are in that and they're just terrible. Um, yeah, I don't think they're special. They're in the rebuild. Too many injuries. The Aaron Fox who they traded for, I don't know if he. I don't know. It's just weird, but it was a good trade because like it's the Aaron Fox at the end of the day. But I don't know. He didn't play well there. But it also takes time to get used to a team. Next year, I think they'll be much better. As long as Victor stays healthy, and so is De'Aaron Fox. Let's get to my boy Coleman Sports Utah Jazz. Now I could easily put them in the sucks category, but I'm not gonna do that because they are rebuilding. I think that they have some pieces that I like Keontae George, Laurie Markkinen, is Isaiah Collier. Like I've been watching a lot of Jazz because of Coleman. I like this team. And it's not just because I like them. I know their record is trash, okay, and I know it's one of the worst, but it's because they're rebuilding. You know, 15-52, and you could put them in the sucks category, and I wouldn't be mad. But I think they're in the rebuilding. I think they are. Uh, I think like by next year they should have a better record if they make some better draft picks. Walker Kessler. Like if I name players on the Jazz, these guys are decent. I don't know why they're so bad. I don't know. I think they also get hurt a lot. They got to stay healthy more. Laurie, I'm looking at you. Got to stay healthy. They also have John Collins. They have like a lot of decent players, but they just can't stay healthy at the same time, and they just don't mesh that well. They're rebuilding. They're trying to figure it out. But like by next year, if it's the same type of record, I'm gonna put them in the sucks category next year. Okay, let's get a Sacramento Kings, and let's talk about this team. They're in the mid category. You could put them in the rebuilding category as well. But I'm gonna put them in mid. Okay, and because they are still a playing team, they're 33-33, exactly 500. Um, so those days are over when the West had these play-ins that were all above 500. I don't think that's happening anymore. The Kings didn't have Sabonis for a while. He just came back and he played amazing. I wish the Magic never traded Sabonis. We'll get to the Magic. The Magic should be the last team. I'll talk about the Lakers, and we'll talk about Heat. Okay, right there. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna say that. Watch, I bet you like in May we'll come back to this list and laugh at it because some of these teams might be eliminated. But this is just what I think right now. Okay, it could change in April. Maybe I'll do one in April, updated if things really do change. But yeah, basically that's all I gotta say about that team. Let's go on to the Houston. The Kings are just mid. Like before I leave them, I mean they got Levine and DeRozan. Like I think they need to rebuild because now Levine and DeRozan. What is the Chicago Bulls? Sacramento Bulls. Like it makes no sense. It's like the same team with Sabonis. Like no, you probably need to get rid of Sabonis or somebody. Or get rid of DeRozan or Levine because they just don't mesh well. This does not work. The Magic beat them by 20, and that's not even like what? How'd that happen? All right, Houston Rockets. Let's talk about this team. I have so much respect for this team. Second team seed in the West. I know they look like a contender, but I'm gonna put them in the pretty good category only because They don't have no playoff experience, and they have a young team. But I like this team. Jalen Green. I was about to say Jalen Brown for some reason. Jalen Green. Uh, he's playing great. Their center, what's his name? The Turkish guy. He's really good. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name right now. It's like that's why you need sleep, ladies and gentlemen. No, I was kidding. Let's see. Oh yeah, Eason played well the other day too. Oh, Sangoon, that's his name. Yes, Sangoon. They got Fred Van Vliet, Jalen Green. They have a pretty good team. Brooks is a decent like guy, but he ain't nothing great. Um, but I like this team. I think it could be a contender in a couple of years. Just add more pieces, but they need a little more depth and all that. That's what's keeping them. But Houston Rockets are pretty good. I mean, second seed in the West. But remember, this is about playoffs, like how these teams will perform in the playoffs. And of course, if you suck and you're rebuilding or you're mid, if you're stuck in rebuilding, you're not making the playoffs, obviously. And then if you're mid, you're making the playoffs, but you probably get eliminated right away. And then pretty good and like contender means you're gonna be in the finals probably, but like pretty good means you could get there, but you're not there. You're like this close, and that's where the Rockets are. And if they got to the finals, would I be surprised? No, not anymore, because last year I didn't expect Dallas to get there, and they got there somehow. And Dallas went from contender last year to sucks. Things could change really quickly. Get rid of some players and stuff. All right, Brooklyn Nets, I'm gonna put in the sucks category. I really want to put them in the rebuilding, but I can't. They suck, and I don't like the roster. They have a lot of draft picks. They have a lot of draft capital, and they could rebuild pretty good. But they have Cam Thomas, Cameron Johnson. They're holding these players back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to put them in the rebuilding, but that's what they need to do. It's not. They need to do it. They need to rebuild. Okay, as soon as they need to. And I'm going to get to the next team because I think they need to as well. But I think Brooklyn Nets have a bright future if they get the right players for the team, if that makes sense. If and they need to get rid of some players. Uh, and like Cam Thomas, Cameron Johnson, those are good players, but they need to get more depth. They need to get those draft picks got to hit for them. They have a lot from the Knicks, so but they're not. I don't think they're really that good, so I don't know why they did the deal. But then again, it was a lot of picks, so that many for Bridges is you can't turn it down. You got to do it. So I understand why they did it because even with Bridges, they still would be they're probably in the mid category with Bridges. All right, Chicago Bulls are in the rebuilding category. You could put them in the sucks. I ain't putting them there. All right, because they have talent. They're 28 and 39, bad record, but they're a playing team. Okay, so I'm like, I'm gonna say that right now. All right, Chicago Bulls. They have Vucevic, who's just I don't know. They're holding him hostage. They need to rebuild. They need to get rid of Kobe White. They need to start over. Okay, and if they want to hold Kobe White, fine. But then they need to draft around him and make him the star of the team. Okay, they already got rid of Levine, which was fine. The thing with the Bulls is they don't know how to commit to a rebuild. They do this stupid shit where they trade one player every year or get rid of one player. They got rid of Levine. They got rid of DeRozan before. It's like, bro, just do it all at once. It hurts less. And why? Another thing I want to say about the Bulls, Billy Donovan needs to go. Okay? He sucks as a head coach. How does this guy still have a job? Oh, I don't get it. I really don't, Chicago. What are you doing? And I'm not saying that just because Billy Donovan left the Magic for Florida back in the day, like Florida in college, but it's just he's not a good coach in the NBA. He hasn't proven anything. Anyway, little rant on the Bulls. All right, let's get to the Hawks. The Hawks are going to go in a category called mid, obviously. They don't need to rebuild. I actually think the Hawks are going to be pretty good if they, in a way, because they have some players I like. I mean, I don't like Trae Young, but they have like Jalen Johnson, who unfortunately got hurt. See, I think the injuries this was really costing them, you know? So the Hawks are mid. They're 32 and 35. Clint Capella, they need to get more depth, you know, and maybe they do need to trade Trae Young if He doesn't fit there. I like a Kongu, you know. Uh, Ricochet is okay, but I don't know if he was a first pick worthy guy. Okay, the next team we're gonna get to, and Bonnie predicted this team being good, is the Grizzlies, and I'm gonna put them in that pretty good category, not a contender yet. John Morant, JJ Jackson Jr. They played good against the Cavs, but they lost. Zach Edey's all right. Morant went off. Desmond Bane's okay, but I don't know. He didn't play good in that game, but he's all right. I think the Grizzlies need just a little bit more pieces. Uh, they need more depth, but they are a pretty good team. They're back to where they were because of John Morant. So I don't ever want to hear that the Grizzlies are better without John Morant. That is a stupid take. Okay, people told me that in the past, and I ate it up. And now when I see John Morant is there, look at them. They're in like the third or fourth seed. I don't even know where they are. Let me check where they are in the West quickly. They're in the fourth seed, 43 and 25. They have a 2.5 point lead over the Lakers, who we will get to, because that Lakers thing is so crazy. And when we get there, I wonder what people are going to think. Portland is in the sucks category. They don't know how to rebuild. They need to rebuild, but they don't know what they're doing. Anthony Simons, like DeAndre Ayton, they have some pieces, but it's not working out. Wizards is in the sucks category, even though Spencer Dinwiddie's playing well. This team is not good. What's Portland's record again? Let me just talk about Portland quickly. 28 and 39, terrible. Wizards have one of the worst records, but somehow I know they beat the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors. They beat the. I didn't mean to say Warriors. I meant to say Nuggets. See, you need sleep, people. All right. So yeah, I think the Wizards are a shitty team. 15-51. They still have the worst record. Barely. It's between them and Utah. I guess they don't want Cooper Flag if he even comes out. That's what I'm saying. We don't know. On to the next team, Charlotte Hornets. They are in the sucks category. LaMelo Ball is not working out. They're always hurt. He's a decent player. Mark Williams, always hurt. Failed the physical. Should have been a Laker. They just suck. I never feared the team. They never really improve, and their record is 17 and 49. Guess what? The Wizards are catching up to them. Okay, so they suck. There's not much to talk about some of these sucky ass teams. Pelicans suck, and that's a lot of this has to do with injuries and players not being healthy. But Zion Williamson can never stay healthy. DeJounte Murray got hurt. They got rid of Brandon Ingram. They're in the sucks category. CJ McCollum can't carry. And there you go. Comes down to three teams you all wanted it to be. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to end with these three teams. The Lakers are, okay, so before the Luka trade, I had them in the mid category. But now with the Luka trade, I don't think it puts them in contender. But I think you got to be pretty dumb to not say the Lakers are pretty good, okay? With Luka Doncic and LeBron James, I know they still need another piece. They don't really have a center. Austin Reeves is okay. I don't get Austin Reeves, man. Like, one day he plays really good. He's just like inconsistent, you know. But he's been playing really good lately. I got him credit. Like when LeBron and Luka haven't been there, he's been playing good. LeBron and Luka, I think the Lakers are just doing this on purpose. They're like resting their players. I think the NBA should not allow and rest. Like, I'm sorry. I pay my ticket. You got to perform. That's like me saying, I'm not going to do my accounting job. I'm just going to rest. Like, no. Unless I'm really sick or something. Like, if you're really sick or injured and you're out in the NBA, I understand. But for no reason, these players are taking rest days. Imagine that, you know? And people pay high prices for tickets nowadays. It's not cheap in the NBA. And that's what they get. You don't get to see your favorite player. Stupid. And the Lakers are doing this, I think, for the playoffs. Makes kind of sense. 40 and 25. They're the fifth seed in the West. They would play right now. They would play the Grizzlies, and that would be very close. That actually would be a good series. I think the Lakers might actually win that one, as much as I think the Grizzlies are pretty good, and they're both in the same tier. Okay, let's do it. Let's get to Miami Heat. This team, Honestly, can I put them in sucks? No, I can't because they're 29 and 38, I guess. Even though they lost 7 in a row. But I think the Miami Heat are in the mid category. Because they're a playing team. They're not. They have like Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware is okay, but this team is mid. Wiggins is all right, but he ain't really helping the team. Um, they got rid of Butler, you know, so we'll see what they do. I actually think the Heat should be in the rebuilding category. It's between rebuilding and mid because they are mid, but they're in the play-in. But then again, it's the East. The play-in is so easy. They need to rebuild. Miami Heat they're in the rebuilding stage. They need to rebuild. They're not like the Magic. We'll get to the Magic right now, but they're in they're not mid. They are mid, but they're in the rebuilding category. Like you could say mid or rebuilding. Either one of those categories I'm fine with. But I don't put them in rebuilding because I think they need to replace Jimmy Butler, obviously. Bam Adebayo is good, but he's not good enough to carry a team by himself. Tyler Hero is good. Those two players are good, but they're not good enough to carry a team by themselves. They need more help. And I'm happy they don't have it right now. But I think eventually Pat Riley will figure his way out. Maybe he gets Kevin Durant. Maybe he gets something in the offseason. Okay, now let's talk about the Orlando Magic. Where did they go? Okay, obviously not a contender. In the beginning of the season, they were in the pretty good category. Now I have to put them in the mid category. The Orlando Magic are mid, and they did it to themselves. And they could honestly be in they could be not in the rebuilding because they have the players. They have Franz and Bankero. They're not sucks because they have so many times they could beat all these good teams. Like they beat the Celtics, they beat the Bucks, they own the Pacers. They've beaten they haven't beat the Rockets or they should have beat the Grizzlies. That one pissed me off. They beat the Lakers. They didn't beat Golden State because they choked. They lost the Timberwolves. It's just like I don't know, but they don't suck. They're mid, and it's really disappointing because, like I said, in the beginning of the season, they were in pretty good. They were exciting to watch. They were above 500. They were number 3 or number 4 seed, and now they've dropped all the way down to 8, and that'll be a play-in against the Hawks. And if the Hawks beat us, I won't be upset because we can't beat the Celtics or Cavs, whichever if we got the 7th or 8th seed. Maybe it's better just to get the misery done with. Jamal Mosley has failed this year. He was doing really good, but as soon as another thing that cost this team and people are gonna say excuses, but it's not excuses because it's freaking superstars. All right, well, not superstars, stars. Ben Carroll and Franz both got injured. Okay, and they played all right while they were. Magic was still doing okay after that, but the team chemistry wasn't the same. KCP is a bum. I don't know why they gave him a contract so big. But you know what? It's only 3 years, I guess. So 2 more years of KCP, and hopefully he's gone. Magic, you have to learn how to get rid of these players. Get rid of Gary Harris. Get rid of Wendell Carter. We didn't make any trades like the Nuggets, but the Nuggets, at least, there's 4 contenders and if any of those 4 teams made the finals, I would not be surprised. And the Magic are not a contender. And if they traded for Kobe White, would they be a contender? Probably still no, but they'll be in the pretty good category. Kobe White is that good, and they should have done the trade, whatever it costed. If it even costed 2 first-round picks, 3 first-round picks, you know why you do it? Because with Kobe White, you're in the pretty good category. And then eventually one day you could be a contender. But if you don't have Kobe White, now you got to find a player who's on that. And he killed us. He beat us like the last game by himself, the last time we played the Bulls. So I know I rambled a lot, but I really wanted to go in depth on every team and why I think they are where they are. And I like how this tier list shaped out. Look, we have 4 contenders, so we didn't go heavy on the contenders. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in. We have 7 in pretty good. There's about 7 teams I would say that are pretty good. There's 1, 2, 3, 6 teams in the mid category. the Suns, and I could have put them in sucks, but I put them in rebuilding. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in rebuilding, and then in sucks there's about, and the Mavericks did it to themselves because they would have been in pretty good if they didn't get rid of Luka. I can't get over that. I don't know why they did it. It was horrible, and the stupid 270 that looks so bad now. Luka is so good, and they're just resting him. He's not even hurt now, and like he plays, it put the Lakers from mid to pretty good just getting Luka. So anyway, guys, tell me what you think about this tier list. Sorry if I rambled, but I'm really passionate about the NBA more than probably any sport. I like the NFL, but like at least NFL is hard to watch because the Giants suck and Cardinals are mid. But the Magic were pretty good and they fell down to mid. And I just can't wait for the next season of the Magic to see what they do in free agency. They probably won't do anything, but this is my tier list. Please hit the like and subscribe. Tell me in your comments below what you think. Do you agree, disagree? This is just my opinion. Everybody has their own. Yeah, see you on the bend. Go Magic. Take care.